that includes their people, their stories, and voices to form a more just and equitable society. And it's always good. It's always good to see past board members in the room. Pinocchio, Don Hatch is here. Thanks for being here. He's up on that board. He served for 16 years, I believe, on the Marysville School Board. So thanks for coming tonight. So approval of the agenda, I propose a motion to approve the agenda. Is there a motion?
I move to approve the agenda as presented. Second.
There's a motion and a second. Any discussion? All right, all those in favor?
Aye. Aye.
Motion passes. Superintendent's report, Dr. Robbins.
Thank you, sir. The 2023-2024 school year has quickly come to a close. I want to express my deep gratitude to our families and extend my heartfelt thanks and appreciation to our educators and support staff for their unwavering commitment and dedication to serving children and their families. The students of the Marysville School District are the lifeblood of our schools, and I'm extremely proud of their accomplishments. The class of 2024 has amazing graduates, and those were very beautiful ceremonies. We're looking forward to those students' success. Summer break provides an opportunity to recharge, spend time with family and friends, and have fun. Please take the time to do that. I wish you all a healthy, happy, and fun-filled summer. And that is my report.
All right, thanks, Doc. Communication reports, student, staff, board reports. First up are the department updates.
Hello, directors and Dr. Robbins. Really in the secondary world, we had, again, like Dr. Robbins just said, 4 amazing ceremonies. The first one taking place at the Gathering Hall, beautiful cultural celebration, and then 3 more very positive and well-attended sessions at the Angel of the Winds Arena. So long day, but so fulfilling to see those kids graduate. The following week, again, full of movement and growth as we watched our kids at different moving up assemblies, right? There's that ceremonial time where you move from sitting in the section of the sophomores up to the section of the juniors and things like that, and 8th graders saying their goodbyes and getting ready to move on to the high school. And so just some really neat times for closure. And again, to look to the future and start thinking about those big goals. Thank you.
Evening, Executive Director of Elementary. Really happy to say we kicked off our letters training today. We have 160 teachers volunteering their time from 8 to 3, Monday, Tuesday, Thursday, and Friday this week. It's the learning essentials of teaching, reading, and spelling. So everything focused around literacy. I had sent you guys a video that our teachers have also watched, sort of a kickoff video to give you an opportunity to take a look at that and hopefully visit this week at the schools of Kellogg, Marsh, QCT, Marshall, Grove, and Schultes libraries. So we hope to see you there. Thank you.
Thank you very much. All right, next up is the USI insurance report presented by Katie Henry and Kevin Swerin of USI. Thanks for being here.
All right. So thank you for having us here today. We will be providing a high-level overview of the partnership between Marysville School District and USI to provide insurance program design and risk management insurance services. I'm Katie Henry. I'm the lead broker working with the Marysville team. As a short background, I studied applied mathematics and business administration for my undergrad, and I hold my master's in business administration. I entered into the commercial insurance industry directly from college, and I have worked with educational institutions and human and social service organizations for the last 15 years. Kevin Swerin is here with me today to support as our office leader. Kevin and I represent a much larger team at USI that will be working with Marysville School District from an administrative service, technical analytics, claims advocacy, and risk management consulting perspective. So who is USI? USI is a large national insurance brokerage and risk management consulting firm that operates at a local level. Our professionals specialize in industry-specific verticals to better understand the risks and needs of our clients. Marysville School District connected with USI because of our specialty in the insurance industry space. Our education practice provides service to 1,100 institutions, with 252 of those clients being school districts across the country. We can move to the next slide. So I think a big question from everybody in this room is, will there be insurance in place for the September renewal? And we can say with absolute confidence that yes, there will be insurance in place. There's no scenario where the district will not be able to meet the insurance contractual requirements. So as you can see by this timeline, we have about 30 to 45 days before we can finalize the terms and really understand what the insurance program will look like. However, we are executing on this timeline beautifully. The Marysville team has been extremely responsive and thorough and have done great work in getting us the information that we need to provide the most competitive terms for the school district. We can move to the next slide. There we go. So in addition to placement of insurance policies, Dr. Robbins has made enterprise risk management a top priority for the district. So what is enterprise risk management? Enterprise risk management is an organization-wide culture of proactively managing risk, where all levels of the organization are aligned on the priorities, educated to assess risk, and empowered to communicate surrounding the district's strategic priorities. This is an ongoing initiative of identifying, assessing, and addressing risk from all sources that could potentially threaten the district. So the key terms here: continual, education, alignment, and consistency. And this is how we create a safer environment for our communities and lower the long-term cost of risk for the district. Because it's about the kids. And that's what we're here to do, is create a safer environment for everybody. So we can move to the next slide. And I want to be clear that Marysville is already doing some really, really great work. The first step in implementing enterprise risk management is getting buy-in from the top. That is the most challenging step. In Marysville case, the direction to implement enterprise risk management is coming directly from the top. So we have already passed the first hurdle. We are already well on our way to implementing a safety culture in the organization. So Marysville offers best-in-class bus and transportation safety, highlighted by the awards and achievements that they've received from Washington State Patrol and the Washington State Transit Association. The work is proven by the claims experience being significantly better than the industry standards, averaging over 5 times lower on liability. That's incredibly impressive. 5 times lower than the industry standards. That's amazing work. Additionally, the facilities team was able to mitigate damage from the January record low temperatures causing freezing to many districts and businesses around Washington. Marysville proactive work resulted in repairs at 10% of what the insurance companies estimated based on averages of the insurance district. 10% of the averages. That's amazing. So I want to commend you on the good work you're doing. I'm excited about the opportunities that we can bring together and place the insurance program, but so much more than that. That's what I have for you today.
Thank you, Katie. I see you have a slide for questions. Do any of the board members have questions at this time?
I don't have any questions right now, but I might.
I was going to say thank you so much for your presentation and the information. It's obviously one of the issues, at least for me, that gives me a little bit of heartburn. So I appreciate you hearing from you that you are confident in the ability to have coverage in some of the areas that you've highlighted that we're doing well. I guess, could you just go over again for me the areas of coverage? Obviously, school districts are complex organizations. So transportation, building, people, all of those things. And I guess I just want to make sure that we have the breadth of, or the opportunity to have the breadth of coverage that we need.
Absolutely. So we're looking at the property lines. So that includes general liability, that includes auto liability, auto physical damage, property, employment practices liability, abusive conduct liability, professional services, errors and omissions coverage, and educators' legal liability to cover the board.
So it sounds like every, if not almost every kind of line of coverage that a district would need.
Correct.
Okay.
Correct, yes. The entire property and casualty program. Yes. So we'll be replacing coverage, we'll be broadening coverage, we'll be adding additional limits where we possibly can. And coverage gaps. There's a full analysis and broadening of coverage that goes along with it.
Okay. And then I noticed from your map of kind of where you cover folks, you've got a couple of districts in Washington. Can you tell us who they are? Is that?
I'm sorry, I can't.
Okay.
But
Okay, fair
we do service to, national exposures. So
Mhm.
our risk management teams are very in-depth with their understanding of the needs of the districts. So
Okay.
we really pride ourselves on digging in and being part of it, which is why we're here at the board meeting today. We want to be part of this. We want to be part of the community. We want to create a safety culture and we want this to be a long-term relationship. So we're in support.
I appreciate you being here. Thank you.
Any questions?
Yeah, I just would echo, thank you, Katie, for your presentation, and I appreciate the partnership and the good work that you guys have highlighted here. And I also really appreciate that you're ensuring with absolute confidence, yes, we will have insurance. So I appreciate that. Thank you.
Thank you very much. I understand, obviously, this is the start of a journey with you guys. So I'm sure more conversations will come up and as this process unfolds. There's not much I can say that the other board members have said already. But again, we do appreciate you coming here tonight to present on who USI is and what our options potentially are. So appreciate it.
Thanks for having us. Appreciate it.
All right, and before I go into the next bullet point, I should have went through the excusals earlier, but tonight Director Reinhardt is excused from this meeting, and Director Reinhardt has resigned as a Marysville School District Director. For personal reasons, this triggers board policy 1114, board member resignation and vacancy. A more public announcement will be made in the near future and will outline what next steps are as far as filling a vacant board seat. Next bullet point is the budget development process for the 2024-2025 school year report presented by Dr. Zach Robbins, Superintendent, and Susan Halliday, the Accounting and Budget Manager.
Thank you so much. And Susan, thank you so much for joining me at the podium. So we're working to develop the 2024-2025 budget in a way that meets our binding conditions requirements. We have a couple of deadlines that we have to meet. The first draft of the 2024-2025 school year budget, we have to get that to ESD 189 by July 10th. The second reading, public hearing, and adoption of the budget for 24-25 is going to be at August 5th. And also the first reading is going to be at the board meeting on July 22nd. Just thank you to all of the analysts and the executive directors that are working hard and directors working hard on making sure that we put this budget together or finalize this budget in a way that is going to ensure we meet our binding conditions requirements. Susan, am I missing anything?
I can't think of anything other than we are locked into our dollar amount for our ending fund balance with OSPI. We will meet that. And they are asking for any deviations from our plan. So there will be several deviations because that was the best information we had at the time. For example, a grant may be slightly higher or slightly lower, and we'll be spelling that out for them.
Susan, thank you so much. And that is our report.
Thank you very much. Upcoming events presented by Jody Runyon, Director of Communications.
Good evening, Dr. Robbins, Board of Directors. I have a pretty short list tonight. After all, it is summer break, but that doesn't mean that there aren't still things happening. So I want to point out, starting tomorrow, we've got our high school credit retrieval kicking off and our initial credit program. Credit retrieval is online, but both of those programs are getting in-person support, which is great. June 19th is Juneteenth. That is a holiday. And the first day of summer is June 20th. And let's hope that we see some sunshine. So again, I have a short report. That is all I have this evening. Thank you for your time.
Thank you, Jody. Appreciate it. Next up is the hearing of business of visitors. Before we start, go ahead and read through. Each individual has up to 3 minutes. Individuals wishing to combine their time must sign in on the speaker's clipboard to combine time. Parties must be present. A maximum of 2 people can combine their time. Their allotted time for a total of 6 minutes, allowing for a broader representation of viewpoints. And the maximum time allotted for the hearing of business of visitors per agenda is 30 minutes. Let's see. First on my list is Mackenzie Bornheimer. Hopefully I said that correctly.
Hi, my name is Mackenzie, and and I am 9 years old. I live in Marysville, and I attend Liberty Elementary. I'm on the student council, and I will be in 4th grade next year. My mom is here to support me today because I am really nervous. She has volunteered at my school for the last 12 years and has worked there for 7 years. My grandpa also attended Liberty in 1965. After talking to my classmates, I wanted to come here and ask that you please do not close our school. I've been having a hard time focusing on my schoolwork ever since I found out that Liberty might close. I am worried about having to go to a different school when I'm in 5th grade. I love my school for so many reasons. The staff are like family to all of us, and they work so hard to help us learn. My teacher told me that our test scores went up this year. I'm afraid our scores could go back down. If the students are stressed and worried about Liberty not being open anymore, I'm also worried about my friends who do not have cars to drive to places. They walk to Liberty to get their free lunches over the summer, and walking is their only way to be able to come to our family fun events. If our school closes, I'm worried that they wouldn't be able to get their lunches and do the fun things at school. It makes me really sad and makes me cry to think about Liberty not being open anymore. It's a safe place for the kids who live nearby. I'm also sad for my sister who goes to Getchell. She's going to be a junior next year, and she's worried that she won't be able to do her senior grad walk at Liberty while I'm in 5th grade. My classmates and I do not want to spend this all summer and the next school year having to worry about our school closing. We want to be kids and focus on our work. Thank you for allowing me to speak today. I hope I am able to make a difference.
Thank you very much, Mackenzie. Next on my list is Amy Sheldon.
And I just honestly, I'm here because I wanted to speak on behalf of Leah's Dream Foundation because we're late. And I was told that Mr. Zimmerman's leaving me. And so I was on a meeting today. So Mr. Zimmerman and I have been working with Mr. Brewster tirelessly with Special Olympics and Unified Champion Schools. And so Special Olympics wrote a letter today and they wanted me to read it to you guys. And so I'm going to read it and say that they say, congratulations, MG is the first championship school in our whole district ever. So that's something to celebrate. So on behalf of Special Olympics Washington, we extend our heartfelt gratitude to Mr. Zimmerman and Mr. Brewster for their unwavering dedication to our mission and the Unified Champions Schools strategy. His visionary leadership and steadfast commitment to inclusion have paved the way for Marysville-Getchell High School to become the first in Marysville School District to pledge as a unified championship school. Mr. Zimmerman's efforts has fostered an environment where students of all abilities can thrive. And his legacy of inclusion will undoubtedly inspire future generations. As he moves on, we are hopeful that the momentum he has created will continue to flourish, ensuring that his spirit of inclusion and unity remains a cornerstone of our community. Thank you to Mr. Zimmerman for your exceptional contribution to our cause. Mary Doe, Chief Operating Officer of Special Olympics. So I just wanted to let you know that during this whole school year, this is the main thing for me. And I've told you guys 100 times, my child, 27 years old, she sits at home. She has no friends. And all I wanted was her to have friends. And Mr. Zimmerman and Mr. Brewster have listened to me and listen to me say that this is important. And for Mr. Zimmerman to believe in me and me volunteering my time and working endlessly at night and weekends to make this happen and making Marysville-Getchell the first championship school in our district ever. And we have major things coming, working on grants and everything. I am so proud of that. Also, Marysville, Lee's Dream Foundation, please don't forget, please golf. We need golfers. And I want to thank Lori for being an amazing sponsor every year. She's already signed up to sponsor and I appreciate you for doing so. And lastly, I just want to say it's been a rough year and I do commend everyone for everything they do. And I love this community and we need to do right by the community. There's been a lot of harm and hurt to everyone and mistreatment. Even myself, I've been mistreated. And we need change. And if you could dream it, you can do it, says Walt Disney. So I'm going to hand these off and Lori's going to make sure everyone gets them.
Thank you, Amy. Next on my list is Jay Human.
Over the course of the school year, the district has taken steps to reduce the $17.5 million deficit to reach the ending fund balance. This is what was included in the budget development process update in tonight's agenda. This statement is extremely concerning, and I would like to understand exactly what reductions the district has made over the school year to reduce the budget by $17.5 million. From the information provided to the labor groups and then to the community, it appears there have been no reductions this year apart from the cuts to certificated staff in May of 2024, which will only impact next school year. Over the past 9 months, there seems to be an attempt to deflect and obscure the mistakes made in the 23-24 budget, which have led to the current situation. Despite multiple notifications about these discrepancies from our labor groups, the misinformation continues, even though Lisa Gonzalez is no longer with the district. To assist with clarity, here's a list of discrepancies that should be remembered. Number 1, misrepresentation of the beginning fund balance. The district claimed to have discovered the actual beginning fund balance in January 2024. Yet a report from November 2023 clearly addressed the 23-24 beginning fund balance. Moreover, the district stated an inaccurate starting fund balance to our community during your financial presentation held at Marysville Pilchuck in late November. The difference represented in that mistake, $7.4 million. Number two, false claims of payroll savings. The district stated it saved $5.9 million in payroll, but this was actually due to using 22-23 pension rates for the 23-24 school year. This was not a reduction, but a mistake acknowledged only after labor group met with you. Number three, overstated student enrollment. The district inflated student enrollment projections to 9,815 FTE, resulting in a $3 million discrepancy in state revenue and expenditures. What's been uncovered is that in February of 2023, can somebody donate time? Because I'm going to run out. Thank you. What's been uncovered is that in February of 2023, the previous finance director, David Cram, anticipated this student enrollment for 23-24 school year to be far more accurate at 9,344 students enrolled. So why was his projection ignored and the numbers inflated? Other areas that were overinflated include overstated staffing FTE, so certificated staff. The district reported 713.9 FTE. The district actually had 670.5, which is a difference of 43.4 FTEs. Classified staff, the district reported 442.18 FTE. The district actually had 407.54 FTE, which is a difference of 35 FTE. You also overstated purchased services. The district budgeted $20.2 million, yet the remaining balance as of April is $4.5 million. How about overstated MSOC expenditures? The district budgeted $18.9 million, yet the remaining balance as of April, $11.2 million. These discrepancies cumulatively resulted in the $17.5 million deficit that wasn't real. Yet the narrative presented falsely suggests that the finance team worked hard to reduce it, when in fact, it was merely a matter of actualizing revenue and expenditures based on student enrollment. Why is there a persistent inability to be transparent and honest? Actualizing the budget does not equate to reductions. This continued dishonesty only undermines the community's trust. I'll be sure to notify the public that this continues to be the narrative the district chooses to spin. Marysville deserves better.
Thank you, Jay. Next up, I have Amanda Zamora.
Today, I want to address a fundamental concept that lies at the heart of our actions and decisions: integrity. Integrity is often defined as the quality of being honest and having strong moral principles. It is about doing the right thing even when no one is watching. Integrity is the cornerstone of trust, and it is the trust that forms the foundation of any successful community organization. Currently, we face a situation that challenges our commitment to integrity. Standard practice during an active investigation is to place those involved on leave to ensure transparency and impartiality. This policy applies equally to staff and students. However, there is a glaring inconsistency in its implementation. How can it be fair to not to apply this practice equally to everyone involved? Anyone concerned about public perception and committed to integrity would insist on being placed on leave during an investigation to maintain the process's integrity and public confidence. The community is rightfully concerned about our current hiring practices, which do not require years of experience for executive director positions. This approach is contributing to ineffective and incompetent leadership at the executive and director levels. We cannot ignore these concerns. The effectiveness of our leadership directly impacts the quality of education and services we provide. It is imperative that we critically evaluate our hiring practices to ensure we are attracting and retaining competent leaders who embody the values of integrity and excellence. Furthermore, the recent changes in insurance have raised questions about how these will affect the administration of programs, particularly those servicing off-campus and special education students. These programs are essential for the well-being and educational success of some of our most vulnerable and valuable students. We must have a clear and transparent plan to address any potential disruptions or challenges that may arise from this change. The impact on these programs must be thoroughly assessed, and measures must be put in place to ensure our students continue to receive the support they need. Lastly, it is crucial that we hold our leaders accountable. The board must take responsibility for overseeing the effectiveness and competence of this leadership team. The unsatisfactory results of this year are a direct reflection of the board's lack of oversight and integrity. Integrity means acknowledging shortcomings and taking decisive action to address them. The board's role is to ensure that our leaders are held to the highest standards of performance and accountability. Can I have some time? Anybody? Thank you.
What was your name?
Amanda Zamara.
Sorry, who's giving time?
Is-
Kim Williams.
In conclusion, integrity is not just a word.
And I don't have Kim on my list of people who signed up for time. So it has to be from somebody who has already previously signed up. Christopher. Yep. Okay, I gotcha. Okay, go ahead.
Thank you. In conclusion, integrity is not just a word. It is a practice. It is about consistency, fairness, and accountability. It is about making difficult decisions for the right reasons. As we move forward, let us commit to upholding the principles of integrity in all our actions. Let us ensure that our practices reflect our values and that we hold ourselves and our leaders accountable to the highest standards. Only then we can build a community that truly reflects the trust and confidence of all its members.
Thank you very much, Amanda. Next on my list, I have Stacy Eliason.
Stacy Eliason, Marysville community member. Hello, directors and Dr. Robbins. I would like to follow up on the comments made 2 weeks ago by Mike Ray of Totem Middle School about the importance of our special ed teams. Part of Totem staff, he stated that the progress at Totem had been superior in the district because of consistency and dedication of their instruction. Also honing of the Totem learning environment. I would like to share a story from one of our other schools. I sent pictures of you by email of my son's 2021 graduation from MPHS. It shows his teacher team and his visit back to Liberty Elementary in his cap and gown. Many thought he would not earn his high school diploma, but his teacher team at Pilchuck knew that he could walk with his peers on graduation day. One of the teachers in the photo was his full-time para, a classified employee who upon his graduation gained a full-time certificated teaching role. I now sub in the district and had the honor of guest teaching at MP in the teacher's classroom. The students did not know me, but I told them that my son was her first gig at MP, and now he is taking classes in business and art on scholarship at college. I don't know if they believed me at first, but I pointed to his photo on her bulletin board along with many other graduation photos of pictures of whom she was obviously very proud. Students talk. By third period, students were walking in the class saying, "Are you the lady with the son who had the para who's now our teacher?" I confirmed that I was. This was a resource room at the high school level for students on IEPs and 504s. There was a teacher team that checked in with me and assisted and kept these students moving along, even with the teacher out. I wish there was a happy ending. The next time I subbed for her, there was an additional person in the teaching team out sick. The sub position was not filled, and teachers were filling in hour to hour as they could. Without the consistency, the students' days spinned out of control. I am disappointed to hear that the Totem Middle School team and learning environment may come to an end. I hope that the board and district would reconsider closing Totem and losing this valuable team. My other topic I'm talking about is choirs in the district.
On Friday, May 17th, I was privileged to be at the secondary choir concert at the MP Auditorium. This is where the choirs from the middle and high schools are invited to perform. 3 of our schools participated. Getchell High School under the direction of TJ Sieber, Totem Middle School directed by Joss Nidinger, and Cedar Crest Middle School Choir directed by James Orr. It was a great musical night. The live stream is still out on the district YouTube channel if you want to watch. Unfortunately, it came on the same day we found out that the choir classes will be even more limited in our district. The 35 students at Getchell High School who sang can no longer enroll in their choir class. It will now be a club. This is unbelievable. Districts around us, Lake Stevens, Arlington, and Everett, offer 2 or more choirs per school. My colleagues in neighboring districts frequently talk to me about choir students who've appeared in their classrooms each fall who live in Marysville. Their inter-district transfers were accepted because their music abilities and lack of opportunities in their home districts. I teach instrumental music. I'm currently on a long-term sub in the North Shore School District. I teach 4 bands and 2 orchestras per day. I play lots of instruments, but my favorite is the one that I carry with me always, my voice. Choir offers a lifeline to our most vulnerable students who crave a sense of belonging and connection being part of the choir family provides. From a business standpoint, choir is a cheap class as there is no instrumental maintenance and it allows for larger class sizes. Singing is the most immediate way to express ourselves as our instrument is part of us. We sing, play, or listen to music to feel alive, to work through emotions, to calm our thoughts, energize our bodies. Music is everywhere, not only on the radio in our classrooms, we all have a soundtrack of our lives. If you think of major life events, you often think of the music that was present. Music is an essential part of our society in celebrations, movies, commercials, stories, sports events, and more.
Thank you very much.
Thank you for your time.
If you've got 10 seconds left, I'll let you speak.
Music is a positive driving force on your student's life journey, and if they choose to continue with it, music is a lifelong friend. This is the only beginning. Thank you for your consideration of supporting choirs at the secondary level in the Marysville School District.
Very much. All right, next up, I have Becky Roberts.
Good evening, President Reinhardt. Oh, sorry. Board of Directors, Dr. Robbins, and community members. My name is Becky Roberts, and I am the president of the Marysville Education Association. I am here tonight to express my concern regarding the current interview process for executive directors and directors. In the past, this process was inclusive, allowing representation from employees and the community, ensuring a diverse and comprehensive selection. However, under Dr. Robbins' leadership last year, this process was altered and all hiring decisions were made without staff input. Unfortunately, these decisions have not yielded the desired outcomes. As a result, we are concerned about the lack of transparency and the potential impact on our school district's effectiveness. You consistently emphasize the importance of transparency. Reinstituting an open and inclusive interview process is a tangible way to demonstrate your commitment to this principle. Allowing staff and community input will not only foster a sense of trust, but also ensure that we select the most qualified and well-rounded candidates for these crucial leadership positions. Thank you for your attention to this matter. I look forward to seeing steps taken towards a more transparent and collaborative hiring process. Marysville students, families, and educators are joining together to demand real change in our school district. When we stand together, we have the power to make our schools places where every student, staff, and community member feels safe and welcome. MEA is united for our students because Marysville deserves better.
All right, next on my list is Richard Zimmerman.
I believe John Natterstad, who signed up, is donating his time for me.
John? Good. Okay.
Okay, Board of Directors and Dr. Robbins. My name is Richard Zimmerman, and for the past 7 years, I've had the privilege of serving as the principal at the best school in the Marysville School District, Getchell High School. These past 6 years have been the best experience of my 35 years in education. The reason I can say this is because of the amazing staff, students, and parents and community that call Getchell home. Now, when I first arrived at Getchell 7 years ago, my then boss, Lori Knutson, gave me the best advice of my career. Sorry to embarrass you. She said, ignore the noise that's coming out of the district office at the time and focus on the students and staff at the school. These words of wisdom have never been more true than these past few years. She also gave me my first task of my tenure. My assignment was to organize the 4 small learning community schools into one high school and communicate with the families who were very upset with the change. So I arranged listening meetings with the community. At the first meeting, I greeted about 30 parents into my small office, and for the next 90 minutes, I listened to their concerns, their complaints, their frustrations that they had with the district. I took pages and pages of notes, and then one by one, I made plans to address each one. Now, at first, I met with that group every 2 weeks, and then once a month. At each meeting, the number of attendees went down until at the final meeting in June, just one parent attended. She said the only reason she came was to give me a card and a gift certificate. She said that on behalf of the entire group, she wanted to thank me for not only listening to them, but also being responsive to their concerns. This experience reinforced to me the importance of being truly authentic with those who entrust us with their children. And it reinforced to me that actually being transparent, really transparent, is more than just a word. It takes work. 7 years ago, on the first day of school, I asked to do the morning announcements. Now, as it came to the end of the announcements, I realized that I didn't have a way to end them. So on the spot, I simply said, make it a great day the Charger way. Well, needless to say, it kind of caught on. Then the students took the word charge and created positive attributes for each letter: community, honesty, ambition, resilience, growth, and equity. This past year, we also added relationships to the end to make charger. These 6 attributes are what we strive to live by each day. Now, that motto is on t-shirts. It's on t-shirts. It's on student handbooks. It's on pins. It's on cups. It's on banners. It's how I end every single Quick Charge vlog and how I have ended every graduation speech for the past 7 years. But it's something more than a motto. It's how we live each day. And because of the following people, Getchell High School stands out as the shining light in an otherwise troubled district. Amy Sheldon, Sandra Jan Wagner, Jackie Lagore-Hodgins, Alicia Cordulo, Travis Marsh, Shanika Pishka, and the entire counseling team, Sydney Ogletree, John Natterstad, Emily and Eric Lefstad, Jeannie Olson, Shannon Gramboys, Andrea France, Jessica Miko, Craig Brewster, Shauna Guy, and the entire MG staff. They're amazing. And the glue that holds it all together are the 2 most important people in my Getchell life, Teresa Borkford and Brooklyn Stevenson. They are truly the lifeblood of MG. In addition to my staff, I want to thank Lori Knutson for having faith in me these past 7 years, Vonnie Walker for giving me the freedom to do what we do, and to Ray Sheldon for being such a good friend. In closing, as I move on to my next adventure, I will be forever grateful for these past 7 years. My hope is that the next person named as principal at Marysville Getchell High School continues to listen to staff, to students, and to the community, hires only the best, and then trusts them to do their best, and strives to take the entire MG community to even greater heights. My hope for the Marysville School District is to follow the example set by the entire Getchell community. Believe in your staff. Listen to your staff. Listen to those in your care. Be visible. to those to whom you're responsible. Lead by example. Speak the truth at all times. And always, always, always make it a great day the Charger way. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Mr. Zimmerman. The next person on my list is Panoke Don Hatch.
First of all, I want to thank the board, Dr. Robinson, for allowing me to stand here. And the audience here. You know, being on a school board for 16 years was quite a experience. But there's so many times I sat up there and said, bring your friends to the meeting so you could help us as board of directors on a school board to make decisions. You know how many times they brought their friends? 0 time. And I got to talk to the group back here. 0 times. We got to show the responsibility. We got 3 rookies on the board up here. We can't so and say, you should know everything. And I appreciate for each one of you that ran and got elected this last year. And Connor for being on the board. I feel sorry for the president that resigned. But there's a lot of experience I had in the 70s when we lost so many levies that we didn't even have sports in the 2 high schools. We had to go out there and cut firewood and just salmon barbecues and different things to make things successful in the Marysville School District. That was in the 70s. But one thing about it, you know, we fought hard. And then in 1975, when they merged Marysville High School and Pilchuck High School, made it Marysville Pilchuck. You know, that was the thing that happened there because there wasn't no money, no levies. And we look at who's to blame. It's, you know, a lot, we can look at the board. I could look at the board. I could look at the staff. You know, 16 years up in the school board here and 29.5 years on the tribal council. A lot of experience umpiring, refereeing in the Marysville school in this area, in Marysville and Tulalip. Doing so many things with children. 60 some years. And we could stand up here and saying, you know, and wave the flag and saying, you know, these young people up here that are here now. And I ain't standing here because I have a niece up here, Eliza, but I'm standing here because they're going to learn as well as everybody else what to do. We had school levies that were out there, and I'm going to ask the ones behind me, how many of you campaigned or voted yes for the school levy? Okay, how many of you rallied around and knocked on doors and helped? See, that's what we need. See, we need, if I had this then, we could pass anything. We had this group behind me, I could pass any bond issue with school levy. Any bond issue in school, we need to support. You know, I look at the superintendent and the struggle he's going through. I look at the 4 board of directors there and the one that left because of fear. Nobody should be scared sitting up there as a board of director. Nobody should be scared, but sometimes they are because the fear that the audience put in their lives. I don't want that. If I was younger, I'd be sitting up there, I'd be running again. But it's the idea that I'm 84 years old and I still lobby for the schools. I still lobby for the Boys and Girls Club and all the things that our tribe is doing and everything in the community at home. But you know, we got to think about what we're doing. And I always say that at a lot of meetings I go to, you look in the mirror and see what you see in there. In the morning, you brush your teeth and comb your hair. How are you going to help the school district tomorrow, today, when you get up in the morning? Not how am I going to have them all stand up and we shoot them. We want to have them here to help us and guide us, as well as the staff who is guiding. You know, I sat there for 16 years. I'm going to tell you that, but I loved every minute of it. And I'd do it again if I had time, if I was younger. I'd do that over again because I loved every minute of it. I never missed hardly any meetings. And it was really tremendous. It was rewarding, especially in graduation time. That was big for me. It helped me in my heart that we succeeded. But we got to think about what we're doing in life. We could all go there and point at everybody. I can point at the group up there, but how many fingers are put back at me and the ones that are behind me? We're all responsible for this school district. All of us. You know, like I said, I'm 84 and I will still want to help out. We want to find out how we're going to help out, now how we're going to destruct, and how we're going to criticize. I don't want to be criticized, and I don't want to come up and criticize. I don't want to criticize the superintendent. I want to give him a chance. I want the 3 new ones come in here, have a chance. And Connor, if he stays with us for re-election, or are you going to walk away after this coming year? You know, we got to give him a chance to be able to do some things and forge ahead. Because I'm not going to stop talking. Somebody can take me down if they want to. But one thing about it, life is really important. Our kids are really important. We're losing so many children now. And I always said that up there when I sat there, one lost, one hurt in this Marysville School District is one too many. I said that many times. And I said that. And that's what we got to take a look at. And when I left here in 2009, we had over 11,000 students. Look what happened where we're at right now. We're in the 9,000 plus. We should have about 15,000. But we got to look in the mirror. We're all part of that. We're all part of this. There's things that are happening. Look at the Marysville School or the city council, you know, and the mayor. They got to support us. They got to support the school district. And we don't have them. We got to have them endorsing the school district, and we can be somewhere. We can all do it together. But we have to make it happen. I'm going to say it as long as I'm still here, you know, and I'm going to tell you, real life, right now I have cancer. And I'm going to stay here and I'm going to help succeed this school district as long as I'm alive. So, but I want to thank this school board, superintendent, the staff. I want to thank all the audience for coming here and talking about what we should be doing. But I sat here and looked at the Tullip Elementary getting shut down. They all had to go to Quilceda. So there's a lot of things in my lifetime I've seen happen. So when things happen in budget-wise, and when I sat up to there one time, they said, we're going to cut the janitors Okay, I says, what happens when a child sneezes on the table and next day another student comes in and sits on that table? I said, no, we're gonna let them, not the janitors, they're gonna clean the tables. So little things like that, we need to take a look at all the time when we look at what do we need in our school district? How do we take care of them? Take care of your teachers, but take care of the staff. But look at the budget. Don't be afraid. I could come up here and criticize everything here, but I'm supporting the board. I'm supporting the audience behind me, but I want to make sure that they support this board as well, because let them learn. Let them all learn on things, what's going on. And don't try to say, I want to fire all of them. And I don't think so, because when we got rid of this, the president of the school board, everybody clapped. Made me feel bad. Because I could have been sitting up there and they would have clapped. You know, and that's not fair. This guy, he quit because on account of fear. Let's don't do that to our people. Because we're all a big family here in Marysville School District. I'm saying Marysville School District, not just Marysville. Because Marysville and Tulalip are together. So I want to thank the audience. I want to thank the board, Dr. Robertson and the staff for what they doing. I want to thank my partner Ray over there, Sheldon Jr. for helping me and everything. But I love this school and I want to make sure the school keeps going. But keep going now with the staff, the ones behind me. To next school levy comes up. Geez, go out there and fight, and make this thing happen. Make this thing happen. So the school levy, it isn't a 60, just 60-1 that wins it, or 51-1 who wins a levy, or a bond issue we need to get. We got to do something. And it's people behind me can make that happen. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Panoke. That concludes our hearing of business of visitors. Next up, approval of minutes. Do I have a motion?
I move to approve the special session executive closed session meeting minutes of June 12th, 2024 as presented.
I'll second.
All right, a motion and a second. Any discussion? All right, all those in favor?
Aye.
Motion passes. Consent agenda. Is there a motion for the consent agenda?
Move to approve the consent agenda as presented.
I'll second.
All right, motion and a second. Any discussion?
I just wanted to note gifts to the district if I can find it in my papers, but there was
11,000.
yeah, a significant donation, I think, of backpacks from Costco, and I wanted to be sure and note that and say thank you. We also, I think, have some travel coming up for kids for leadership camp, and again, want to thank ASB funds and CTE funds. I know those are always formative experiences for our high schoolers.
Thank you, Panoke.
And last on the personnel report, just noting Mr. Zimmerman's departure, which I was also surprised by, and thank him for his service to Getchell. It's where my kids went to school. I know we've always appreciated him and his leadership, so.
Anyone else? I don't know if I just want to reiterate the Costco wholesale Lake Stevens gift to elementary schools, 384 backpacks, overall value of $11,550. That's huge. Students are going to be receiving backpacks for the first day of school, so really appreciate that. All right, motion and a second. All in favor?
Aye.
Motion passes. All right, board action, bullet point number 1, resolution number 2024 TAC 10, capital projects budget extension 2023-2024, presented by Susan Halliday.
Hello, board. Dr. Robbins. I have Greg Dennis backing me up in case you have any questions I'm unable to answer. I have good news. I'm bringing forward a capital projects budget extension. We have received some money for totem seismic, and we've also received some money for distressed schools. In order to spend that money, we increase our capital projects budget. So we can spend part of that money this summer and get started on some projects such as roofs. In the meat of the matter, we've laid out what dollar amounts we're looking at. And again, we have $3.6 million of distressed schools. We're not intending to spend all of that this summer, but we would like to spend some of it and get some projects going now. And again, we are increasing the totem seismic project because it has continued to go on, and it is larger than I originally thought when I did the budget out. The increase would be $2.9 million to capital projects, and it is fully funded by the totem seismic project grant and the distressed school grant.
Thank you very much. Let me go ahead and take a motion for this, and then we can have some discussion. Do I have a motion for this line item?
I move to adopt resolution number 2024-10, capital projects fund budget extension as presented.
A second.
All right, a motion and a second. Any discussion?
So I think I just want to reiterate something that you've already said. We received additional funds, which is the cause of the budget extension. That's great. And then maybe just walk me through, we're continuing to work on the totem facility. And it's also a point of discussion for not this year, not this coming school year, but the following year. So help me understand some of that, or help explain some of that to our.
So at this time, I continued to put the totem seismic money in. The grant is still going to the best of my knowledge. And we will continue to do expenditures. And once we do the expenditure, we turn around and ask for reimbursement from the state and get the money back within approximately 48 hours.
Okay, and the grant was specifically for totem, for that building?
Yes.
Okay.
That was my question too. If that's a school that's gonna be closed, what would be the future of it? Why would we put $2.9 million into it and not another building that we're gonna keep open if that was an option?
Director Davis, if I may. So 2 things. It's important to do this work just for the practicality of if there is ever a natural disaster, we want to make sure the building stays up. Second thing is there will be a recommendation, or I've made a recommendation to the board. You all, of course, have to discuss that. And then the third thing is there's been a lot of discussion about needs in the district, and totem provides a place for some of those needs. So right now, it may be that that building is used, like a lot of school districts use shuttered schools for different sorts of activities and different things. It almost becomes another building of the school district in terms of an administrative building, but it won't just be administrative. We're talking about serving kids there.
Okay.
But of course, you all have to discuss that.
So regardless of, obviously there's a discussion revolving around totem. Regardless of that discussion, this seismic grant was only approved for totem, correct? So regardless of whether that school will be closed or not, we should still, because it is still a district asset, continue forward with this. I mean, it's a grant, right? So we're receiving money in order to make these upgrades. So and I don't think that those funds can be shifted to be used on any other building, correct? Got anything else?
Covered.
All right, all those in favor?
I don't know if I have any other questions.
As long as it's allowable, like if we were closing a facility and we couldn't switch it to another one, I guess is what I was concerned with. Like, why wouldn't we use it on a facility that we're gonna keep open?
And I think, could you
Questions?
just run, Greg, could you just run through the process initially that this grantor came to the conclusion that Totem specifically needs these funds?
Yeah, so about 2 years ago,
1 second, can we just, want to be able to hear Greg and his input to us real quick?
so about 2 years ago, OSPI came in and evaluated our buildings. This one was approved for a seismic retrofit or seismic upgrade. So the process started with engineers coming in, consultants coming in, doing all the design work, doing all the testing. And then once it was determined that this was a feasible project, OSPI sent Dr. Robbins a letter awarding us a grant, initial grant based on engineers' estimates. So we continued to do the work. And then most recently, we went out to bid a couple months ago. Contractor was selected to do this work over the course of this summer. The work will be completed before the school year starts. We will still be occupying that building at least next year for Totem Middle School. Yet to be determined based on your guys' decisions moving forward, what happens with it after that. But OSPI has given us that grant to spend on this specific project.
Thank you very much. Any other discussion? All right, all those in favor?
Aye.
All right. Passes. All right, next up, out of endorsement teachers for the 2023-2024 school year, presented by Bonnie Walker, Executive Director of Secondary Education.
Hello, Dr. Robbins and board. I'm speaking on behalf of our Human Resources Department tonight. And I wanted to bring forward to you, actually, these are 5 teachers. They are at the secondary level and they are teaching somewhat partially out of endorsement. So as you know, at the secondary level, they teach different classes, and sometimes just based on need, they may need to pick up 1 section here, 2 sections there. So these plans have been in place all year, and I'm sure that you read through them. They all reflect kind of a co-planning, co-teaching model. We do does this during co-teaching. Most of them are in a co-planning model to make sure that they're staying date with someone who has the expertise in that area. So these are ones that have been in place as we move forward towards the end of the year. We realized these had not been brought before you. We can do that this time.
Thank you. Is there a motion for this?
I move to approve the teachers listed to teach out of endorsement for the 2023-2024 school year.
Second.
All right, motion and second. Is there a discussion?
I guess I just have a quick question. Does that out of endorsement teaching, does that last for a year, 2 years?
It is for the years. You will see some of these. We are already looking at, there's actually less this coming year, but you'll see some of these coming much earlier. This is fairly late, but we'll have those in front of you so that you can see who is doing this work and how they're being supported. We really make sure that those principals have these things in place.
Great.
For these staff.
Thank you. You anticipated my next question, which was, September next year, if we can have anyway, that would be great. Okay, thank you.
Any other discussion from you two? You also answered my question, which was going to be, is it typical? Obviously, this is for the 2023-2024 school year, which is wrapping up.
Mm-hmm.
So I was wondering if it was typical, but so I appreciate kind of the dedication for getting this out in front of us sooner.
Oh, my goodness, yes.
Thank you very much.
Sometimes at semester, you might see one come late, but you should see those September, October. So I will make sure that those are put together and ready to present for next year. Again, there should be less. You've seen a couple this year too already. Sorry.
Thank you very much. Any other discussion? All those in favor?
Aye.
Motion passes. All right, follow-up items, work study dates, board meeting dates, and upcoming events. Our next regular session board meeting is July 22nd, 2024. Superintendent comments.
Thank you, sir. It's an honor to have former board member Don Hatch speak. So thank you so much for your wisdom. Mr. Zimmerman, thank you for your years of service. Greatly appreciated. And Katie, thank you so much for coming here to talk about our insurance options. That's what I have.
Thank you very much. Board comments. Can start with Eliza if you want to start.
Sure. I just want to say I also appreciate hearing Pinocchio's perspective. Pinocchio is actually my grandma's nephew. So very close relative, and I could remember seeing Pinocchio sitting up here and just being very proud as a tribal member. Our community was very proud to have a tribal member sitting up here. So I just appreciate that he acknowledges that there is a learning curve when you come up into this position. There's a very large responsibility, and that I don't do this work lightly. I do have experience working inside of a school system. I worked in the school district for many, many years. And so I don't believe that none of us, including our former president Wade, sit up here with an intention to be like, we want to do bad work. We want to ruin this district. That's not nobody's intention when they come up here. If you put your name in the hat to come and do this work, it's because you care about education. So I just want to be very clear about that, because this work is done from the heart. It's not a paid position. I have a full-time job, and I do this work because I care about education, not to come here and see signs out there saying, read the room, resign. I don't think it's okay. And I do think that there is a lot of work to do. There is a lot of work to do. This school district has been failing kids for decades. It's not something new, and it has to be done together, not fighting against each other. That's what I have to say.
Thank you very much. Kristen.
Thanks, Eliza. I appreciate all that you said. I was keeping it together. I'm going to start with thank yous first, because I know it's been a challenging time. So thanks to my fellow board members, thanks to the executive directors, the analysts, the other folks who are covering extra responsibilities in the district. It's appreciated, and we know that it's challenging. I also wanted to recognize all of the folks in the district who are leaving us at the end of the school year and recognize their service. We have folks who are retiring or resigning and moving on, that have contributed greatly to our kids and their education. And I especially, I don't know that we've had a chance to recognize her, but Kate Manis was a beloved teacher at Marysville Getchell. She wasn't with us this school year, but did pass away to this school year, and was an amazing science teacher that my students had. And I just want to make sure that we acknowledge that here. And then I don't know that I could add to what Eliza said. So thank you for speaking your heart.
Thank you.
Oh, I will add to what Director Davis said. I chose to run out of love for my city. I'm a product of Marysville School District, as was my mom and my grandparents. And we are a family that has served the community throughout generations. And you're right, Marysville deserves better, but it's from everywhere. Every decision that we make as a board has a litmus test. Is this best for all students? What's best for kids? It's not about us. And yeah, this is not paid. I own my own business and work and have a life outside of this, but to be in this unpaid position and be attacked the way we are is just, it's really not fair. And I would challenge any of you to put yourselves in our shoes, because this is not easy work. Now I hear that I'm not on Facebook, but I hear that people are resorting to bullying, defaming people's character, spreading lies, and targeting our staff. This is not okay. Marysville deserves better. We need to be examples to our children and work together, to collaborate, to work together. What is your end goal here? Destruction? Because if so, there are some people out there that are doing a really good job of that. I just ask that we can come together to work together, to support each other and lift people up, because that is what we're meant to be doing. Thanks.
Thank you very much, Beth. Again, I thank everybody for being here and staying until the end. Again, I just want to highlight that, and I had it right here in front of me, that with the absence of a board member, we're going to be posting in the near future steps that any interested community member within that district, if they have any interest in filling that seat, we do hope to appoint a new board member relatively quick. But again, that information will be made a little more public in the near future, with information about how you can get involved and what that process looks like. So be on the lookout for that. Other than that, we have an executive session following this. So I'll just read this. The Marysville School District Board of Directors will meet in executive session at 7:30, following the regular session meeting for 1 hour, ending at 8:30 p.m. to discuss Marysville School District real estate and the performance of a public employee. No action will be taken during or after the executive session. At the completion of the executive session, I will then come back out here and adjourn the meeting. So with that, we're going to take an 11-minute break, and then we will convene for executive session. So thanks again for coming out here. And our next board meeting is July 22nd, 2024. Thank you.
Recording stopped.